Hey, this is for 10 whistle for CC week 11. We are almost done. After you present this week, week 12 is just review. So you're almost there. I know some of you will be relieved, but I hope you've had at least a little bit of fun or felt better about 10 whistle. So obviously I always start off with our class expectations and rules for the 10 whistle. I love to start off that way. And then before we get into page 98, which is note names and scales, I'm just going to review to set myself up for the lesson. So I'm going to draw the staff. If you have 4-year-olds, maybe they won't remember and you can tell them the answers, but master students and journeymen should be getting to know this by now. So I'm going to draw this. What is this, a staff? How many lines does it have? 5. And draw my little treble clef here. What is this, a treble clef? Time signature, add some bar lines that create measures. And then real quick, just run through the notes. I'm gonna do it at the bottom so I can leave this blank for my lesson. So I'm gonna just go over whole notes. They get 4 beats, half notes, 2, quarter notes, 1, and 1/8 note, half of a beat, right? Very good, awesome. So I'm just gonna do I'll go a little slower in class, but I'm just trying to hurry through this just to show you what I'm going to do. So I'll review that, and then the last thing I want to review is dynamics. So when they say, page 98, under naming, sing and discuss, so they want you to sing the cycle song together. When we do that, I'm just going to practice the dynamics and call out, pianissimo or forte, and practice singing the cycle song in the different dynamics just to shove a little more review in there. So, and then now we're going to introduce the note names. So they want you to ask the students how many letters are in the alphabet. 26. In the musical alphabet, there are 7, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's it. So just like we use letters to write words and sentences to read, we write music. We use letters to write music that we can sing and play. So they have a little note name rhyme they want you to introduce. I love this note name rhyme. I love drilling it. So the note name rhyme is when the note is on a line, every good boy does fine. When the note is on a space, it spells the word face. So drill that, have them repeat that after you. So what they're talking about is, so when the note is on a line, every good boy does fine. So these are all going to be on a line, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then when the note is on a space, it spells the word face. So those will be on the space. So what I'm going to do on my board, it'll be every good boy does fine. This will be bigger and look nicer, and it won't be so crammed together. But for the sake of this video, this is how we're doing it. And then you can label those. So every like that. So label it nice and neat so they know what you're talking about with the lines. And then when the note is on a space, it spells the word face. So that would be F-A-C-E. And you can label those too. And then, so that's really it. Just drill that and show them that. And then you move on to expressing. But before that, I'm going to go over the D scale with them because I really don't like to get out the 10 whistles until I am done up here and they've paid attention to me. And then after we play the 10 whistle, I'm going to have them draw and do the attending portion. So about the D scale, that is in your guide, page 101 and 100. So they put it out for you descending and ascending. So just going up and going down, just like that, really easy. So you can just pass these out if you want, or have them all sit in a circle looking at this, and then you can explain that. So the 10 whistle has a D scale, so we're going to start with a D and end with a D. And these 2 Ds right here are an octave. That's like an octave difference because so there's really 8 notes in a scale because you start with 1 and you end with 1. So it'll be D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. And you'll also notice these little symbols right here. That's a flat, so the 10 whistle actually does not play an F natural or a C natural. It plays an F sharp and a C sharp. So a sharp, that looks like this. I love to draw it. that will take the note like a half step up in pitch. So it's like a half step higher. And then a flat, which we don't have those on our scale. Looks like a little fancy B kind of. And that will take the note a half step lower in pitch. Okay, so sharp, flat, half a step higher, half of a step lower. That's there for you. You want to explain that to them. So that's why we see those symbols on the scale. You're bound to get somebody to ask why that's there. Why the hashtag is there probably is what they're going to ask. So, okay, so just go over the scale. Talk about how it's like a series of notes going up, going down. I know a lot of times we use this too as musicians to warm up. We'll go up and down the scale to kind of warm up and get our fingers going and the brain juices ready. So, okay, so after I go over all of that on my board and I have them looking at it and explain everything, then we're gonna pick up our tin whistles. And this is when we pick it up, that's when I like to go over the parts of the tin whistle and ask them so we can get a little bit more review. And then we go over the proper positions, sitting up straight, no elbows on the table, left hand on top, right hand on the bottom, all of that good stuff. Go over all of that. And they want you to practice the cycle song 1 measure at a time. So this is totally up to you in your classroom. If your 4-year-olds can only get through 2 measures, congratulations, way to go, and work on those 2 measures. If it's the journeyman or the master's class and they can play the whole thing, awesome, play the whole thing as a class. And so, let's see, listen to students individually. Okay, so this is the part where they tell you that they kind of want you to call out one of the notes and have them play it. If you have this out, you know, you're older, if you have older students, you should be able to say like, okay, let's play a B, and they can look right on here where the B is and play a B. And if you have little kids, you might have to say, okay, we're all going to play a B, and you can find it on the scale and then show them it's just the first one, show them where it's at, just the first one in your left hand. So just go over that, go over where you're calling out the notes and they're playing it. And then we're going to move on to attending. So again, I don't pass out the copies of staff paper that's on page 103 in your foundations guide, but you can do that if you would like. CC recommends that. I just like to have mine draw it, and they are 4, and they do it. I'm very proud of them. They're rocking it this year. So I've just been giving mine a blank sheet of paper, and I go through, I erase my board, and then I walk them through it again. Okay, we're all going to draw a staff, so draw your rectangle. Now draw a line in the middle. Now you have 2 rectangles, draw 2 lines. So I'm just going through it each time. I go through it again on how to draw the treble clef, and then I add the time signature, and then I tell them we're going to draw some bar lines, and then they want you to copy. You can copy this and have them draw whole notes to make the D scale, or I'm doing is I'm going to go over the D scale too, but I'm also going to have them do this again so we can review the note name rhyme, because the D scale is pretty cool to have them copy, and you're still going to label the notes, but I'm having mine draw this. I'm basically going to walk them through this so that we can go over the note name rhyme again. And just drill that some more, because I always use this drawing time at the end to just review everything I just taught them. We're basically doing it over again with them doing it on the paper. So I'm going to go through the note name rhyme again. When the note is on a line, every good boy does fine. When the note is on a space, it spells the word face. So we are going to copy this with whole notes and label each note. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. Yeah, you can draw and label the D scale, and you can distribute. It says you can distribute copies of the cycle song and have them label the notes. That's already done for you, but you could go over it if you want. It's already labeled right there. So, but and that's pretty much it. We are just doing the note names, the note name rhyme, and talking about the scale, and that really is it. And have them play the cycle song, have them play the notes that you say to play, and then just have them draw all that out. It's basically a review. And then, like I said, week 12 will just be review, and I'm sure a party for most of you, so that are tired of tin whistle and it's been a long journey for you. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, but I hope it goes well. I hope you guys have fun learning the different note names and doing the note name rhyme. And also I want to add in too, I have seen tutors before. I have friends that have, used their whole board to make a staff, and then they just they put the letters on paper plates, and then their class can put it on the right spot on the staff. So that's a fun activity too if you have time for it. You could get like a shower curtain or a sheet or like a big board, whatever you want to do, and draw a staff on it, and then just put A, B, C, D, E, F, G on your paper plates, and then your class can work together to put that on the staff where it's supposed to go. Super fun activity. So if you have time for that, do it. Just do what feels right for your class, and it's the least amount of stress. All right, so I'll see you guys next week.